All right, this is gonna be a part two to the last video I did, how just proving that the states is Babylon the Great. I'm gonna start at Revelation 17 chapter and start at verse 9. Before I get into it, I'm gonna give all glory and praises and honor that's due to Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai and Bashem Kakwadash, and the belongs to the apostles and elders of GMS. So Revelation 17 and 9 says, "And here is the mind which have wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sitteth." Okay, and the seven that's pretty much seven, major governments. All right, the woman sitteth. It says on which the woman sitteth. It pretty much means that these are nations that are carrying the United States. You know what I'm saying? Because the United States is powerful, but it's the allies, the vassals, and everything that kind of gives it. Gives it its strength. It kind of carries it on. All these different nations that's in bed with it. Adopting the philosophies, using the dollar, supporting it, receiving support, etc. Doing business, sending their products over here to make money, etc. Right? Verse 10, "And there are 7 kings, 5 are fallen, and one is. And the other is not yet come, and when he cometh, he must continue a short space." So the 7 kings are, well, let's go to the 5. The 5 that are fallen are the Greeks, the Spanish, the French, and the Germanics. Okay, you had Germania Major and Germania Minor. Those are the ones that are fallen, and the one that is was the Roman Empire, and the other that is not yet come represents the British Empire. Right? He must continue a short space. Okay, because eventually, British did this thing, and then Babylon came from Britain, which is going to go into the next verse. "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th, and is of the 7, and goeth into perdition." So the beast that was and is not, because it didn't exist at that time, but John saw it like it existed. So that's Babylon the Great, okay, which is the United States of America. He is the 8th, and he's of the 7th. The 7th was British. Babylon the Great got independence from Britain, July 4th, 1776, they say, right? And goeth into perdition, which means destruction, because the United States was built up to be destroyed. Okay, so with that, the beast that was and is not, he's the 8th and is of the 7 and going into perdition. So yeah, from that, let's go to Daniel, the 7th chapter now, the 4 beasts. So I brought out Daniel 7 and 8. Daniel chapter 7, verse 7 and 8. I'm going to scroll down on this one, and I'm going to go down to verse 17. It says, "These great beasts which are 4 kings which shall arise out of the earth." Oh, matter of fact, going back to Revelation, that's what I wanted to bring out. When you go back to that Revelation 17, it says, "And the beast that was and is not, even he is the 8th and is of the 7 and going into perdition." What is that beast? All right, Revelation 13 and 11. "And I beheld another beast coming up out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon." This is Babylon. This is that beast. "And he exercises all the power of the first beast before him, and causes the earth and them that dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose daily wound was healed." This is that horn coming from that previous horn, right? So that's that beast. So go into Daniel. I hope this all makes sense. Daniel the 7. Now we're going to jump down to verse 19. "Then I would know the truth of the 4 beasts, which was diverse from all the others, exceeding dreadful, whose teeth were of iron, and his nails of brass, which devoured, breaking pieces, and stamped the residue with his feet, and of the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell." The other that came up is the United States, of whom the 3 that fell was the British, the French, and the English. No, the British, the French, and the Spanish. "And even of that horn that had eyes, and a mouth that spake very great things, whose look was more stout than his fellows." And that's it. Babylon is more proud, the most proud, right? It looks down on everyone. It looks up to no one. It looks down on everyone. And what just came to my mind? "And the mouth that spake very good things, whose look was more stout than his fellows." Oh yeah, most proud. Jeremiah 50:31. Behold, I am against thee, O thou most proud, saith the Lord God of hosts, for the day is come, the time that I will visit thee. Jeremiah 50:32. And the most proud shall stumble and fall, and none shall raise him up, and I will kindle a fire in his cities, and it shall devour all round about them. Yeah, Babylon the Great, the most proud, is going to be visited and destroyed. Damn, closed out the dang on. Yeah, so Daniel 7:21, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints. Babylon the Great made war with the saints. Slavery, goddamn systematic oppression and genocide, and all these systematic racism, everything that it's doing is warfare. You know, all these things they doing to the food, you know, setting up these entertainers and pushing all these enchantments. This is them making war, particularly against the saints to keep us in sin. It says, and prevailed against them, right, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. So basically, until the Most High, through his only begotten Son, come. So they're going to have us in this captivity, oppressed. I brought out that before. Judah 50:33, Israel and Judah were oppressed together, right, until the Redeemer, right, because it said in the next verse, it said that their Redeemer is strong. The Redeemer is Yahushua, right, and he's gonna take the place down. So until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, right, because these same saints of the Most High get the victory here in Revelation 18 once America gets destroyed. So Revelation 18:20, rejoice over her, thou heaven, and ye holy apostles and prophets, for God have avenged you on her. So the saints are gonna rejoice once Babylon gets destroyed. See, they're gonna rejoice. So going back to Daniel 7 and 22. Yep, until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High, and the time came that the saints possess the kingdom, which is when the kingdom gets translated from Esau and the heathen to Jacob, the beginning of the world that followeth. All right, so that's pretty much what I wanted to add to the lesson, that Revelation 17 and some more of that Daniel 7. And then you can do more to prove that it's Babylon. You can go to Revelation 18, and you can deal with pretty much here from verse 9 on down, where it pretty much tells you that the United States is like, or Babylon would be an import hub where, you know, many nations would make money from. You see, that's why they're going to mourn when the Babylon gets destroyed, because this was their cash cow. This was how they were, you know, thriving and living. They were eating, you know. So you can read this all the way down. Matter of fact, I'll read it just for time's sake. Revelation 18:9, and the kings of the earth who have committed fornication and lived deliciously with her shall bewail her and lament for her, when they shall see the smoke of her burning, standing afar off for the fear of her torment, saying, Alas, alas, that great city Babylon, that mighty city, for in 1 hour is thy judgment come. And the merchants of the earth shall weep and mourn over her, for no man buyeth their merchandise any more. Right, because all the merchandise they had, they was sending it here. Let's get some stats. Excuse me. What are the top importer countries, and just see what come up. Look at that. The top importer countries in the world based on total import value are: number 1, the United States, the largest importer, bringing in over $3 trillion in goods annually, mainly from China, Mexico, and Canada. Key imports include machinery, electronics, and consumer goods. See? So number 1 is the United States, which is Babylon. So this is why these nations are going to be, you know, crying and tormented and far off, because they it's no more money for them. The merchandise of gold and silver and precious stones and of pearls and fine linen and purple and silk and scarlet and all thine wood and all manner of vessels of ivory and all manner of vessels of most precious wood and of brass and iron and marble and cinnamon and odors and ointments and frankincense and wine and oil and fine flour and wheat and beasts and sheep and horses and chariots and slaves and souls of men. And the fruits that thy soul lusted after are departed from thee, and all things which were dainty and goodly are departed from thee, and thou shalt find them no more at all. The merchants of these things which were made rich by her shall stand afar off for the fear of her torment, weeping and wailing, and saying, Alas, alas, that great city that was clothed in fine linen and purple, right, that was pure and royal and untouchable, in scarlet and decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, for in 1 hour so great riches is come to naught. And every shipmaster and all the company and ships and sailors and as many as trade by sea stood afar off and cried when they saw the smoke of her burning, saying, What city is like unto this great city? And they cast dust on their heads and cried, weeping and wailing, saying, Alas, alas, that great city, wherein were made rich all that had ships in the sea by reason of her costliness, for in 1 hour is she made desolate. Yep, so that's pretty much it, man. I'm glad we pulled that up and got some more edification out. So with that, man, I'm going to go ahead and close. I pray it was edifying. On to the next one.